Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have built a reputation as one of Hollywood's most beloved power couples. However, recent leaks and legal battles are now threatening to tarnish their carefully crafted image. Their ongoing feud with It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni has taken a shocking turn, with leaked recordings, failed legal strategies, and resurfaced allegations painting an increasingly chaotic picture. As more details emerge, it appears Lively and Reynolds are scrambling to control the narrative. One of the most shocking revelations in this controversy involves Hollywood super agent Ari Emanuel, CEO of WME and the representative of both Lively and Reynolds. Emanuel recently appeared on the Freakonomics podcast, where he defended Lively and mocked Baldoni, referring to him as baloney. However, when the episode was set to air, it mysteriously failed to record. Both the audio and video were missing.
On February 13th, Ari Emanuel was a guest on the Freakonomics Radio Live podcast, where he made headlines for calling Justin Baldoni Justin Baloney.
The situation became even more suspicious when a journalist leaked an audio recording of the interview, revealing that Ari Emanuel admitted to firing Justin Baldoni under pressure from Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. What makes this even more shocking is that this was the only episode in Freakonomics history to mysteriously fail to record. This bizarre coincidence has led many to question whether it was an intentional cover-up to protect Hollywood's elite.
In addition to the audio failures we had earlier, there was another, even bigger failure. The show had not been recorded, she says. And I didn't understand. I asked her to repeat herself. She said, they didn't record the show. And I still didn't quite understand. I mean, I've been recording stuff for many years now. I was a musician and I used to work in all kinds of studios. This show now, for 15 years, we've recorded thousands of studio and live interviews, many other things. And not once have the people responsible for recording just failed to record it. But tonight, that's apparently what happened. I am pretty sure we did do a live show with Ari Emanuel and RJ Cutler and Louis.
Just happened. The one show that could land a powerful WME executive in hot water just so happens to be the only show in your entire career that the recording equipment mysteriously malfunctioned. What a coincidence. Take it as you will.
Adding to the couple's growing list of controversies, an old talk show clip has resurfaced, showing Ryan Reynolds making an inappropriate joke about sexual assault. The timing of this resurfaced clip, amid his and Lively's ongoing legal battle, has only intensified the backlash. Many are now questioning his sense of humor, especially in light of the serious allegations circulating online.
Yeah, chivalry and, workplace sexual assault. Yeah.
I want you to listen to Ryan Reynolds explain to an audience on national television in detail how he's actually assaulted, harassed, whatever you want to call it, Olivia Wilde.
So in the scene, she's sitting down, I take her top off, I take her bra off, and she has these, those pasties on. Right. But she's drawing these horrible little smiley faces. And I forget every line in the scene. Not just from this movie, from every other movie I've done. And I don't really know what I'm sort of going up. I'm nervous, blithering on about nothing. And at some point in the scene, she takes my hands and puts them on her breasts. So they're there, palms a little sweaty, don't know what's happening. And then at the end of the scene, I'm supposed to take her. And I'm trying not to look at her like a 14-year-old boy who just won the lady lottery. At some point in the scene, I have to take my hands away. And I take my hands away. And I look down at my hands, and there's two friggin' smiling faces. I have no idea what to do. So, the scene is over now. There's 65 crew members around. I mean, there's all these guys. There's like on the jackpot.
So what I'm hearing is not only do you peel this lady's pasties off, you cop the look, and then what did you call it? Right, allowed 65 cast and crew members to cop them.
While Reynolds has not addressed the controversy, his silence has done little to quell the wave of criticism. Some fear this backlash could negatively impact his upcoming film, Deadpool and Wolverine, as public sentiment toward him begins to shift.
Ryan Reynolds is now under a microscope for bad behavior as Boy Meets World alum Matthew Lawrence stated on a recent episode of his podcast that the two had creative differences in a film that they worked on together back in 1998 called Boltneck. News Nation senior story editor Paula Froelich is here with the scoop. Paula, it seems like Ryan can't really catch a break right now with bad press between his wife Blake Lively's movie drama, now this. What else did Matthew share on this podcast?
Matthew was pretty explicit. He said, back in the day, and he made sure to say that Ryan was very young and that he has matured since then. but that Ryan did not take criticism very well. And every time he did, he'd just get freaked out and storm off. And now you have to understand, the producers of this movie were Oscar-nominated producers, so they knew what they were doing. However, Ryan in his youth thought that he knew better, and in a serious role tried to make it comedic. At one point, even tried to channel his inner Jim Carrey, at which point the producers were like, listen, this is not this. Please don't do Jim Carrey. Please do the role.
A bizarre Change.org petition recently surfaced, calling for Justin Baldoni's removal from SAG-AFTRA and the Producers Guild of America. The petition, which accused him of misconduct without any concrete evidence, was created under the name Gavin Beck, a reference to the fictional murderer from Netflix's You.
Campaign that someone started to try to kick Justin Baldoni out of SAG-AFTRA and PGA, which is Producers Guild of America. It's so disturbing to me, and I clicked on it. It only has 140 signatures, but what I find the most disturbing is that this petition is created by someone calling themselves Guinevere Beck. That is a fictional character, and if you watched You on Netflix, it's a TV show in the horror genre with Penn Badgley as the main character, who is a murderer. He stalks this girl and he kidnaps her, and as far as I remember, he ends up killing her. She's not the only person that he's killing in this TV series. But the fact that the person who created this petitioner is this fictional character, taking that into consideration here, I feel like this is someone who created this that has a very absurd sense of humor.
This bizarre alias has sparked speculation about who was behind the petition. Some online users believe it may have been a coordinated attempt to tarnish Baldoni's reputation. While there is no concrete evidence linking Reynolds to the petition, the situation underscores how Hollywood feuds can quickly spiral into public smear campaigns.
And the person who sent this to me said, in the email, like, oh, Ryan Reynolds created a petition to get Justin Baldoni kicked out. I don't know if he's the one behind this, but I feel like this is the kind of sense of humor that's typical for Ryan Reynolds. I'm not going to point fingers. I'm just going to say that, who knows? So this petition really wants to kick Justin Baldoni out of Hollywood based on some allegations that has not been backed up by any receipts or any evidence yet. And the person here who wants to hide their own identity, which I think says a lot about this person. Like, why can't you stand up for something about something? If you want to ruin someone's life and career, you can't put your name on it. The person saying that, as a concerned member of the entertainment industry, it deeply saddens and angers me to witness no substantial action against abusers in our industry. The case of Justin Baldoni is a disappointing example who, despite being accused of SH, a co-star Blake Lively in the workplace, still holds membership in both the Directors Guild of America and Screen Actors Guild. Though dropped by WME, it's disheartening to see that the seriality of the allegations doesn't seem to affect his standing in our industry guilds.
In an attempt to strengthen her case, Blake Lively's legal team recently filed a motion to subpoena 2.5 years' worth of phone records, emails, and personal data from Justin Baldoni and his team. However, the judge denied the request, siding with Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, who argued that Lively was not the FBI and had no right to such a broad search in a civil lawsuit.
Anyways, this morning, the news broke also that Blake Lively, who wanted to subpoena everyone on Justin Baldoni's team, basically 2.5 years back of phone records and emails and everything, that was denied by the judge, which is a good thing, as Brian Friedman, Justin Baldoni's lawyer, kept saying in the media, like, Blake Lively is not the FBI, and this is not a criminal case. So he denied that. So now they're going to try again, probably, but they need to narrow it down. I don't see any reason why they should have 2.5 years worth of records from everyone, from like dentist appointments to, doctors to shrinks, all these things that they, had nothing to do with this. And as they're saying themselves in the lawsuits, this alleged smear campaign didn't start until this summer. So why do they have to look back 2.5 years?
Legal experts say this ruling weakens Lively's position, suggesting that the court is not convinced by her claims without solid evidence. The denial also raises concerns about whether Lively's legal team has been overreaching in their attempts to build a case against Baldoni.
Blake Lively has lost almost 900,000 followers since the Baldoni It Ends With Us drama. Meanwhile, he's gained over 230,000. But wait, I thought this was all because of bots in a retaliation campaign. Here's the problem with that argument. Bots don't unfollow people. If it had actually used bot farms, they wouldn't be making her followers disappear. That's real people hitting the unfollow button. Bots might boost negative engagement, more comments, more views on bad press, but they don't erase nearly 1 million followers. That kind of drop, that's organic. Meanwhile, Baldoni gained 230,000 followers. If this was some bot operation, wouldn't those same bots be following him too? Instead, people left her page voluntarily. Bottom line, if Lively's team keeps blaming bots, they're going to have to explain how AI suddenly developed self-awareness and decided it was over Blake Lively, and so it unfollowed itself. I don't know. Does this have any effect on her lawsuit against Baldoni? I still don't understand the retaliation campaign claim.
As the controversy unfolds, former colleagues of Blake Lively have started speaking out about their experiences working with her. A former co-star from the rhythm section described Lively as rude, dismissive, and unwilling to make eye contact.
She continues to say that after 10 minutes, they were ready and we went back in and did the scene a few times. When I went back to the green room, I said to some of the other actors, I don't like Blake. Someone said yes, a few others have said the same. One girl said she was fine with her, and others just looked down at the floor. We had fun with Daniel Mays at the last day. Although it was a violent scene, he kept it very light and made us all laugh and didn't have any lines with Blake. Here comes another story, which is absurd to me. She says that the set was secured, meaning that no one from the outside were allowed onto the set. It was closed off, it was security there, so it was only the actors and people involved in the film. She said here that Blake Lively had a bodyguard with her at all times, and when she was in her fitting room or in her wardrobe, she had a security guard standing outside, and he would also walk with her around the sets. She says here that, I understand if you want to have a bodyguard outside because of paparazzis or fans or whatever. Even when she walked from the set to her own dressing room, she says, still in the same building, he would come down, this security guard, and walk with her.
This is just one of many similar stories. Few who have worked with Lively have had anything positive to say about her. While she has never publicly addressed these claims, the sheer number of complaints surfacing at this moment raises serious questions about her reputation behind the scenes.
I think I'm just brunette because of the books. And everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway.
Blake Lively has had issues with many celebrities, both past and present, and you won't believe some of the names on this list. Before Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively were a thing, he was married to Scarlett Johansson in 2008 before splitting in 2010. Do you know what also happened in 2010? The filming of Green Lantern featuring none other than Ryan and Blake. The filming started in March 2010 and ended in August 2010. People on set said they could feel the chemistry between Ryan and Blake, which was intense. They were giggly and flirty and had non-stop touching with each other on that set. The crazy thing about this is that they were both in relationships then, with Blake dating Penn Badgley and Ryan being married to Scarlett. Their press tour for Green Lantern clearly showed that Ryan and Blake had something going on between them. Even though they claimed to be just friends, they spent lots of time alone together, and Ryan once said he knew he crossed a line. 3 months after the press tour, Blake broke up with Penn. In the same month, Ryan announced his split from Scarlett, who said Ryan was never home towards the end of their marriage.
Both sides of this dispute have been accused of weaponizing social media. In his leaked audio, Ari Emanuel suggested that Lively and Reynolds used their massive platforms to sway public opinion against Baldoni. However, Baldoni supporters argue that Lively's team has also engaged in online smear tactics.
So this was all arranged.
Okay, it's a mess. So I have to admit, I don't keep up that much on Hollywood. But even I caught wind of the Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds. Let the record show for those listening at home, Ari just slit his throat. I mean, it's a fucked up, bad situation that Baldoni, whatever his name is doing.
It's an effed up situation. Whatever, Baldoni, whatever his name is doing. Whatever, he's your client. What a scumbag you are.
Now, he was your client too, until I fired him. Right.
Did you hear that? I fired him. Yeah, he was. I fired him. Because you didn't even know his name? Like, so disrespectful.
You know, this is give a little bit of the backstory. It's not really fair. I've known Ryan and Blake for over a decade. They're really incredible people.
As fans analyze cryptic social media posts, resurface old interviews, and dissect every new development, this legal battle has turned into an all-out war in the court of public opinion. Despite their A-list status, it seems Lively and Reynolds are beginning to feel the impact of the controversy.
In Hollywood, they have been incredibly successful. People work with them. They've never had bad mojo out there and treated people badly. They kind of are charitable, help them with their foundation, they do tons of money. If what is alleged in her lawsuit that happened on social media, just because she complained to the studio that things were unhealthy on the set, he was director and this man was producer.
Did you hear what he just said? If these things happen on set, online, after she complained on set.
And they did to her what they're being alleged. They're really bad people.
If they did it. Notice how he said, if they did it, then they're really bad people. But here's the problem, Ari. That's the whole point of this court proceeding. Did they actually do that? What is Blake and what have you done to save your career and to kill other pieces like this podcast? You didn't even want us to listen. I mean, the hypocrisy here is insane.
Additionally, if more industry figures begin distancing themselves from the couple, it could signal a major shift in their standing within Hollywood. This situation has gone far beyond a simple legal dispute. It has exposed hidden power struggles within the industry, the influence of social media in shaping narratives, and the lengths people will go to protect their reputations. Whether Lively and Reynolds are truly the victims or the instigators remains unclear, but one thing is certain. Their once flawless public image has taken a massive hit, and the public has already chosen who they want to believe.
All right, so everything in the world is just ridiculous. It's pointedly ridiculous, I would say. I mean, I'm no longer believing the things I'm saying. I feel like I am now lying to the public when I cover these things because we're just reaching levels of absurdity that are offending my sensibilities, right? First and foremost, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have hired former CIA agents with a proven track record of lying to the public, gaslighting the public to help her with PR. Also, they moved to do this within the same 24 hours that I started randomly getting attacked for my coverage of Blake Lively. Remember yesterday we talked about The Cut. We're going to speak about that again because that journalist has got some deranged ideas of her own. And then I just found out more about this very interesting background of E.J. Dixon. Also, the judge in Blake Lively's case just slapped down their psychopathic request for 2.5 years worth of every message that Justin Baldoni and Justin Heath and the PR agents have ever sent to everybody, plus location data. We knew that was going to happen. And we have obtained the audio of hotshot Ari Emanuel of WME, who describes himself as ride or die for the couple.
As new leaks and allegations continue to surface, this controversy shows no signs of fading anytime soon. Lively and Reynolds have yet to issue any direct statements addressing the latest developments, but with mounting pressure, it seems inevitable that they will have to respond soon.
A mediator was just assigned to Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's nasty legal battle.
Life is too short to work with people who are...
You'll remember Justin accused his co-star and Ryan Reynolds of trying to steal the movie from him. Now, a resurfaced video seems to support that claim. Listen to what Blake said 2 years ago at the Forbes Power Women's Summit.
I don't want to just
be an actor. Like I want to have more authorship. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that. For them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull.
All right, cut.
I absolutely think this case will settle. The most important thing to both of these celebrities is their brand, is their name, is their ability to work. And litigation does not help that.
Will they manage to regain control of the narrative, or is this just the beginning of their public downfall? What started as a simple co-star dispute has escalated into one of Hollywood's biggest scandals. With leaked recordings, failed legal strategies, and mounting backlash, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds now find themselves in an increasingly difficult position. Their once untouchable public image has been shaken, and their industry standing may never be the same. As the situation continues to unfold, one thing is certain: this story is far from over. Will the truth eventually come out, or are even more damaging revelations on the horizon? Only time will tell.